friends, Tracy.bish here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. It is Halloween Spooktacular, and it wouldn't be Halloween Spooktacular without the cutest little ghost box. I'm using the Oh My Fright bundle, as well as the black iridescent ribbon. I'm actually not using those embellishments, but I don't know why I showed you. All these products for the Halloween are part of the online exclusives and available now in my online store. Okay, to get started, we're going to do the base of the box. This is basic white thick cardstock, measures 8.5 by 6 inches. On the 8.5 inch side, we're going to score at 2 and 6.5 inches. Then we're going to turn it to the 6 inch side and we're going to score at 2 and 4 inches. And that's a basic box, you know, very, very simple to do. Once we have our score lines in there, I'm just going to use the bone folder to get nice crisp lines. And we're going to do some stamping on this because we didn't want to leave it as a boring little box. I wanted to add some little ghosts on the side. So I'm just going to mask off with just some scrap paper, and you want to make sure that you keep turning your paper so your ghosts are going to be up the right way. I suppose it doesn't really matter if your ghosts are flying upside down, but it is a little bit, if you want uniform all the way around, to make sure you're doing it the right way. So I'm using basic grey as my colour to ink the stamps here, and I'm just going to go all the way around the edges. As you can see, I've moved my paper, so once the box sides go up, that's going to be the top of the box. So we're just adding our little ghost all the way around. I'm going to do the sides as well, and the stark white actually looked good, but I thought adding a little bit of ink blending with the basic grey ink would also look really nice. So, and it just breaks up that whiteness, or the stark whiteness as well. So I'm just coming in with my blending brushes. I don't want the ghost to be too grey, but I don't want the whole thing to be super white. I suppose I could have masked off the ghosts as well to keep them nice and white, but honestly, once the lid goes on, it still looks so good, and it just gives it that little bit of extra detail as well, because we're only adding DSP to the top of our lid. So just a little bit of ink, not anything too major. I love how that turns out, and I love that, you know, the ghosts aren't stark white. They just sort of all blend in together. So I'm going to cut up to each of those score lines. I'm just going to mitre cut on each side. This will just help the box to have a little bit less bulk and go together really nicely. And then we're going to add our adhesive of choice to each of those 4 tabs on the ends. So I'm actually going to be using tear and tape. That is my favourite adhesive for putting boxes together. But let me know. I'm in the premiere right now. If you're watching the premiere, let me know what your favourite adhesive is. I think my love is definitely with the tear and tape, and I love my mini glue dots and dimensionals. I love the green glue, but at the same time I have a love-hate with that green glue because I seem to always get it everywhere, and especially on my fingers. So and with making boxes, you do need something to be nice and strong, which that green glue is super strong, but you do need to hang on to it for just a couple of minutes to get that nice nice closure and a good seal. But it's also good because you can use that little wiggle room as well. So there's our base of our box, which super good. Did you see I put my the cardstock in my ink? There's a little bit of a mark there, but it's fine. Okay, basic black cardstock. This measures 3 7/8 by 7. Oh, sorry. 3 7/8 by 6 7/16. So a little bit of a funny measurement, but we're going to score all the way around at 15/16 on each end. Now that's just that little notch before the 1 inch mark. So if you're a little bit not really understanding the whole measurements there. Now there is a PDF for this, so don't worry about the measurements. They are over on my PDF on my blog. Okay, so I've just cut up the tabs there, same as the base of the box, and we're just going to add our adhesive to each of our little tabs. So once we have that, we're going to just place it all together. So we've been doing Halloween Spooktacular for a few weeks now. Let me know, have you been enjoying the series, and maybe what your favourite has been so far. And let me know, I'm really want to know if you have been downloading the PDFs as well. I'm not sure if I did PDFs last year, and although they're not full PDFs because there's not instructions, but I just want to know whether people are downloading them and using them as well. Okay, so I have a piece of this beautiful DSP here that is measures 4 3/8 by 1 7/8, and we're going to add that to our lid. Here's my green glue getting used right now, and we've just got some scraps on the side here. I pre-die cut a ghost, but I didn't realise that was the large ghost. I actually need the small ghost that we're going to be using on the top of the box, so I'll have to go back and re-die cut that. But we're going to heat emboss, which is one of my favourite techniques, our sentiment here, which is the Happy Halloween. So I've used my embossing buddy to make sure that there are no stray anything that's going to catch all the powders on. That will eliminate all those issues. I've inked up in Versamark, stamped, and then placed my white embossing powder over the top, and then I'm going to use my heat tool and melt that powder until it becomes nice and shiny, which doesn't take very long at all. One thing you are going to want to have to do is give it a second to dry. It will become, once it's set, it will stay sticky for just a few seconds, so don't put your hand straight in it. So while we're waiting for that to set properly, I'm going to grab out some of these lollies. There are quite a few big things in this lolly container for Halloween, but we're getting there in getting it down. So we've actually got quite a few little goodies in there. We're going to add that in. Let's bring in this gorgeous ribbon. Now this is iridescent ribbon in basic black, and we're going to wrap it around our lid and then just create a nice little bow. I'm actually using way too much ribbon there, so hopefully, yep, come back a little bit. We don't need to cut off so much ribbon. Now you could also add tear and tape all the way around the lid to make sure that it's nice and adhered down. I'm not really worried too much about that. I'm going to place a glue dot under that knot once I've tied it, and that will keep that ribbon in place, and I think that that's enough. If you're still a little bit worried, you can add another couple of glue dots around the ribbon to keep it in place, but I think honestly that one glue dot's going to keep it enough in place to not have it fall off anyway. Okay, so we have our box done. Let's get back to our decorations. So we have the Happy Halloween ready to go. I'm just going to use a rag to get rid of any of that embossing buddy powder, and we're going to cut this down really quick. And with this bundle, there's actually 2 ghosts in the die set. There's that large ghost that you saw that I had, or you can see on the screen there, that I cut out. I'm going to go in and die cut the smaller ghost, and his little eyes poke out, so eyes and mouth poke out from the die cut, and I wanted to use a little bit of basic black here, as you can see, just to place behind his eyes. That way, you know, it's not, that way he's got black eyes rather than, you know, you just seeing through into that DSP. But you can, you know, if you don't want to muck around too much, honestly, it doesn't really matter too much either. Okay, so I'm using some mini glue dots to pop the basic black scrap down. And how cute is that? I think that is amazing. So we're going to pop up our sentiment with some mini glue dots. No, sorry, some dimensionals. And then I'm also going to add a dimensional to our ghost and pop him down. Now you could use those embellishments and add a couple of embellishments. I think that it has enough on there with the ribbon and the die cuts and things like that, that I really didn't want to add anything else to it. So, but what a great little treat idea. You could make these for your grandkids, for your kids, you know, whoever you would like to make a little gift for Halloween. And I just think that this is such a cute little idea. Now, of course, this box could be made into, you know, a birthday gift, a Valentine's gift if you want to give some chocolates, Christmas time, whatever you would like. You could certainly use this box for any other occasion. And that's it. How cute is it? That's another Halloween Spooktacular in the bag. I hope you've enjoyed this week's project. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I would love it if you left me a comment. hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends and family, let them know if they enjoy creating Halloween products or Halloween projects to come and take a look. And if you're in need of any of the Stampin' Up supplies that I've used on today's card, you can also purchase them in my online store. The link is in the description of this video. I'll be back next week with another fun project for you, so hopefully come back and join me for that. Until then, enjoy your week, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.